Well, I don't know. This is super weird, but somehow my first two videos predicted this third one. I don't quite know. If you didn't have a chance to watch the first two, I can give a quick recap. The first video is about the potential of Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg having some sort of cage match, them going back and forth on Twitter and Instagram talking about the topic. The second video was about a tourist actually carving his name into the Colosseum, unfortunately. But I've got this headline here that ties them together in a weird simulation world type of way, for lack of a better word here. But apparently Elon Musk is the New York Post title here, says Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg can fight at Colosseum, Italian government says. This is just crazy. Let me also tie back a little bit. There's been an update on my second video as far as the tourist carving his name into the wall of the Colosseum. We can kind of recap on that just to tie that off as well. But it says here in the Daily Mail, it says Bristol fitness instructor who carved his name into Colosseum wall begs Italian police for forgiveness. As Top Cop warns, he could be jailed for up to 5 years. The vandal's girlfriend is not seen as complicit in the case as of yet, and the couple visited Rome as part of a 3-week tour of Europe. So apparently Italian officials have located these two and have identified who they potentially are. We can kind of dig into this a little bit, and then we'll jump back to the potential rumble between Musk and Zuckerberg in the Colosseum. But it says UK-based fitness instructor seen by millions around the world defacing the 2,000-year-old Colosseum has apologized to police for his vandalism. Ivan, so I've done my best here to actually block out their full names, because I don't, if these are the people, if they're not the people, we're not sure at this point. Sounds like we'll get into it here, but it sounds like the Italian authorities are pretty confident that these are the correct people that they've identified. But at the end of the day, I believe that, it's up to the Italian authorities and legal system to prescribe the correct punishment if found guilty. I believe innocent until proven guilty, but if they are found guilty, I don't think it's up, I don't want to put their name out there for the internet to go after them through my video. So I've done my best to black out their name here. That's why these boxes are here. But anyway, it says that Ivan, 27, was exclusively identified by Mail Online along with his girlfriend, Hayley. Ivan was exclusively identified by Mail Online along with his girlfriend, Hayley, after an outraged tourist filmed him carving their names into the ancient brickwork and posted online. Again, if you haven't seen that, I recommend going back, watching my previous video. I've got more information that goes in depth on that as well. But it says that the couple live in Bristol. They were in the Italian capital of Rome as part of a 3-week European vacation. That's a pretty nice vacation for 3 weeks, it sounds like. And were located in Bulgaria on Friday by police after they were identified through CCTV footage and hotel records. So a official with the Carabinieri parliamentary police, I'm not sure if I'm saying that exactly correct, but told the Mail Online that colleagues have spoken with the man and he has expressed his apologies and sincere remorse for what he did. Well, that's positive. I mean, I think, as I mentioned in the video before, this would be the best outcome as far as him learning from his mistakes, realizing what he did wrong. In the video, clearly, he just kind of smiles at the guy recording him and continues carving. So hopefully he understands why people are so outraged at this point. But he contacted us after we secured his mobile telephone from hotel records and left a message for him to call us. He was naturally worried about legal implications, and these were all explained to him. So again, they've got the video here as well, still images of him carving in that we saw in the video before. I'm going to jump after this one because we don't need to identify him, as I said before. We told him that a report would be sent to his address in the UK, and then the matter would proceed to trial probably next year, and he would be able to apologize in person there to the court. We didn't ask him why he did it. That will be for the judge to hear. I'm glad that they were able to work quickly and identify him through hotel records. But just kind of moving on here, it says that he could face a fine of 15,000 euros and 2 to 5 years in jail. I think the other thing too is that they should bar him from going to these historic places, these places that need to be preserved, because clearly he is not able to handle himself in those situations. But jumping back, that's just kind of an update there. It looks like they did identify, or they believe they've identified the person involved. Jumping back, I wanted to jump back to this New York Post article that kind of spurred all this again. But again, it's saying that apparently now there might be another Gladiator event in the Colosseum. An official from Italy's Ministry of Culture has reportedly reached out on Twitter to Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg to coordinate a fight at the historic Colosseum in Rome. The Post has asked for confirmation from the ministry. In response, Musk entertained the idea by tweeting, "Some chance fight happens in Colosseum." Both tech moguls have trained with Lex Fridman, an artificial intelligence researcher at MIT who hosts the Lex Fridman podcast. He also practices Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and holds a first-degree black belt in the sport. If you haven't seen, there's a video going around right now of Lex Fridman sparring or practicing with Mark Zuckerberg. And I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I mean, it looks like Zuckerberg, knows what he's doing. He does some decent moves, and I'm not a martial arts or jiu-jitsu expert by any means, but it looks like he could hold his own. I mean, he looks like he would be a somebody that you wouldn't want to, get in a cage with. But moving on here, after Musk tweeted earlier this month that he would be up for a cage fight with Zuckerberg, the Facebook co-founder shot back saying, "Send me the location." So this is, again, what we were talking about previously, but there's this picture here of Musk and Lex Fridman. Apparently they were training as well together recently. And Lex Fridman, there's not a video. We do have that still image there, but Lex Fridman said, "I did an impromptu training session with Elon Musk for a few hours yesterday. I'm extremely impressed with his strength, power, and skill on the feet and on the ground. It was epic. It's really inspiring to see Elon and Mark doing martial arts, but I think the world is served far better if they train martial arts, but not fight in the cage. That said, Elon says the most entertaining outcome is the most likely. I'm there for them no matter what." So I got to agree here. I don't think that a actual fight between them would be beneficial for the world. I mean, these two are powerful, running powerful companies, powerful people, powerful minds. And if either of them were to get injured, it would be costly, far beyond just some entertainment benefit of them sparring for a cage match here. The article continues. Zuckerberg's team reportedly passed on the message to Ultimate Fighter Championship President Dana White, whose people contacted Italian officials, according to TMZ Sports. Italy's Ministry of Culture told the outlet in a public statement, if Zuckerberg and Musk want to perform in the Colosseum, they would have to make a non-violent challenge. But the outlet is doubling down, saying sources with direct knowledge confirm again the ministry first reached out to Mark Zuckerberg privately. Then the request was forwarded to Dana White, the president of UFC. There was a follow-up and a call was set for next week. Musk's Colosseum tweet was in response to this. So the interesting thing is, if we go out to this Colosseum tweet, Twitter's throwing an error with it right now. So I don't know if it's been taken down, if this is all, no longer the case anymore. But the actual Twitter from Musk is no longer available on Twitter. They reportedly offered up the 2,000-year-old venue as a battleground for the techies' cage fight. Considered a wonder of the world, Musk continued to up the hype around having the fight at the Colosseum, quoting Russell Crowe's character in the Gladiator, who famously tells his troops before battle, "What we do in life echoes in eternity." Meanwhile, Zuckerberg 39 has been training MMA. So we've gone into this before in the past, how he's been training. But the interesting thing here, again, is that apparently Musk's mom is against this. She's been tweeting that she doesn't want her son to go into the ring. And further down here, we can see some more pictures of Mark Zuckerberg actually fighting. But further down, she says, "Don't encourage the match." And again, she says, "Well, I actually canceled the fight. I haven't told him yet, but I will continue to say the fight is just canceled." So she's not in favor of it. I agree. I'm not in favor of the actual fight. Just I don't want any of them to get hurt. I do think the entertainment factor would be very high, but I don't want them to get hurt. The other thing too is I'm personally not familiar with the Colosseum. Haven't been there as far as the state that it's in now. I understand that they maybe can hold a few events there. But the fact that it is 2,000 years old, it's in a state of, it's ruins basically. I just don't know exactly where this would take place. Here it is up on Google Maps. If we zoom in a little bit here, we can see, there's this like observation platform on the right side. I assume they would carve out an area in here, and then there would be a few exclusive people that would be able to come around. But the actual seating areas, I believe these are kind of all collapsed in. There's just the supporting columns that are still up. I don't think that this would, be anything like it was 2,000 years ago, of course. But my guess is that it would take place on this little observation platform on the right side. Anyway, I'm curious what your thoughts are. Do you think this is going to happen? What's your prediction as far as if Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg would be come out victor in this? And then, your thoughts on vandalism with this. I mean, something's got to change here because it seems like it's a continued problem that they're struggling with, not only in Italy and Rome and at the Colosseum, but elsewhere around the world at places like this that we're trying to preserve. Be curious to hear your thoughts on that. Thanks for listening today.